So I have a really serious question to ask you. If you are a coach, I want to know how you feel when you are either in the session, in your coaching session, maybe before your coaching session, or even after. What I hear is that there's a lot of doubt. Did I do okay? Should I have asked a different question? So if you are a new coach, you might be thinking that what you need to do to feel confident is get a bunch of clients. And what I want to suggest to you is that you actually might feel more confident if you're able to assess your coaching sessions and really make some shifts and learn from those. So today I have Katie Pulsifer back. She's going to share the exact framework that she uses with her coaching clients to turn really every coaching session into an opportunity for them to grow as a coach. Okay, so by the end of this, you're going to have a simple 3-question system so you can build your coaching skills session by session. Plus, you guys, she has this incredible evaluation tool. I'm going to let her talk about that is filled with so many questions where you can ask yourself to really understand your session. So, Katie, can you share just a little bit more about you, what you do, and why you're such a pro at this?
Well, thank you for having me back. It is just so fun talking to you. I have had the benefit of training thousands of coaches. I was at the Life Coach School for over 5 years and got to take beginner coaches through our certification process. Then I did an advanced training there and even ran master coach training. So I have spent a lot of time training coaches. I now have my own certification program, and I know what coaches need to be successful and deliver phenomenal client results. And we often think it's all these fancy tools and things like that. And really, what it always comes down to is self-confidence and self-trust and a very compassionate, effective way of evaluating and growing as a coach.
So I should say that Katie was actually at the Life Coach School when I went to the Life Coach
Mhm.
School. So I feel so blessed to have gone through the process that you were really leading. You were really leading all the, teachers who were helping us and the coaches who were
Mhm.
teaching us. And I'm so
Mhm.
grateful for the opportunity that we had and just the hours and hours and hours of coaching. When I tell people now that are working with me who have been to other certifications, the amount of hours that we spent a year on our certification, right? 6 months, and
Mhm.
then in 6 months advanced part, but how much within our group of coaches, the practice coaching we did with each other, I mean,
Mhm.
hours and hours, and how we turned in coaching sessions and we got assessed and we assessed ourselves. It was really an incredible experience. So thank you very much, because I can tell you what you
Mhm.
offered to coaches through the Life Coach School was something different than I haven't seen anybody who's offers that level of understanding and
Mhm.
coaching practice, really.
Yeah, it was a team effort for sure for those of us on the back end making it happen. But we believed so much in getting those reps and getting as much practice across a variety of different clients as possible so that we could just feel confident with whatever our clients bring us
Yeah.
and easily detect the common themes that as humans, most of us share that pop up over and over again in coaching sessions. So getting the reps is really important.
Can you talk about preparing for this session, what's going on during the session, and what this really looks like after the session?
Yeah, so I think we get so excited to sign a client that we just want to fast forward to that part where we get to that first session with them. I mean, I understand it's so exciting, but taking a little bit of time to prepare sets you and your client up for so much more success. So, being clear and setting expectations around how long is the session going to be? What types of things might happen in the session? Will it be recorded or not? Will you send notes to the client or not? Maybe come up with assignments or homework or worksheets or accountability. It's your business. You get to do whatever you want, but really thinking through that in advance and setting that expectation with the client so that they're not guessing and wondering. Coaching can feel so vulnerable. And for new clients who have never done it before, the more we can create safety and the more we can set expectations, the more our clients can just ease into the experience of opening up, of tackling transformation, topics that maybe they've never shared with another person before. So when we put those guardrails, boundaries, expectations, whatever you want to call them, out on the table, the client's like, oh, my coach, I don't know where I'm going to end up, but I am at least clear what the coaching container will look like and feel like. So those are
Well,
some
and
examples.
sorry for interrupting. For the coach, though, I have to tell you, as a coach who did that with people, I can say, I was just glad to know what I was going to do.
Absolutely. And then it's so important to decide, I think I'm going to start with this and then evaluate, how do I like it? Are 45-minute sessions what I want to do? Should they be an hour? Because we're both left feeling like there's more to do. And I'm going to make my decision to extend it to an hour because I now have some data that shows me I want to do more. So you're right. It helps us be guided and know what we're doing and know what we've signed up for as well.
Well, you talked about how long your coaching sessions would be. And I've confessed to you, and will say a lot of people probably can relate to this. I ran over for a long time in all my coaching sessions,
Mhm.
really until I probably went to the life coach school and a coach said to me, you are messing up my schedule because you keep going over on your coaching calls. And I was so proud of myself for all the
Mm.
years that I'd been coaching because I was like, I give the best value out there.
Mm.
That wasn't helpful. That person who told me that, it was a coach from life coach school. That was such good information. She was right. I wasn't even keeping my word to the client by going
Right.
overtime.
I did it too. And I started to notice a pattern when my clients were keeping an eye on the clock. And I was like, oh, they feel like it's their job to wind down the session because they don't trust that I'm going to. And I was in the same thing. Oh, I want to offer you this. And then there's this tool, and I want to wrap this up in this beautiful way for you as we conclude and take 10 more minutes. I did the same thing when I was starting out, and I realized it's not my client's job to keep the clock. That's my job. That responsibility lies with me.
And even that, wrapping up the session and knowing what
Mhm.
you're going to like send the person off with, I found that
Mhm.
once I started doing that, it was so comforting for the person to
Mhm.
know here's the main things we talked about, and here's the things that you're going to take action on. Because, I'm all business building stuff, but they were so relieved, like, you don't have to pay attention and take the notes. I'm going to take the notes. And of course, everybody
Yes.
decides the way they're going to do it. But they loved it that, like, I will tell you what to do. You just come and be present.
Yes, yes. And the more understanding, the more you can clarify that. And again, you get to change your mind. If you decide something and it doesn't work and you want to, I'm not going to record sessions, or I want to be on the phone instead of Zoom, do whatever you want, but at least be explicitly clear so you and your clients are not guessing at what's going to come next and doing the, wait, are you in charge? No, are you going to decide what's happening? It just helps the session flow more smoothly.
It is so interesting, all of the ways that coaching sessions are happening. I
Mm-hmm.
looked at something from a coach recently, and she had like a VIP, like, I only have a few spots available kind of thing. And I was like, I'm kind of interested in this coach. As I read through her offer, which was, I think it was maybe $5,000, it was Voxer coaching.
Oh, wow.
It was
Okay.
no sessions.
Mm.
It was only Voxer. So there
Mm.
are all kinds of ways that you can do coaching sessions that we often don't think about.
Absolutely. I love doing in between session support. That's something that I just absolutely love. I'll do with my one-on-one clients, I'll do 2 sessions a month, and then this in between support either via voice memo or Voxer to just keep the threads of the conversation going. And we have so many resources and so many ways to deliver coaching. Written coaching as well is another really powerful way to do it via text or email. So unlimited choices. We just have to make a decision, communicate it, honor the decision that was made, and then refine it if we have information that suggests we should do it differently.
Yeah. So for the new coaches that are listening, or
Mhm.
coaches who are thinking about getting started, what would you say are the things that they are lacking confidence in? Like, what is the main themes that you see that come up with people?
Well, I think one of the main ones, and I understand where it comes from, is I want to make sure that I deliver the results to the
Yeah.
client, you know? And it's so well intended. Of
Uh,
course we do. Of course we want our clients to succeed. Of course we want our clients to get wins. And yet, like, we overtaking responsibility for something that isn't within our control and using that against us versus I call it like, I'm going to show up on my side of the street, which is I'll be there on time. I'll deliver the promise that I made for what the session will look and feel like. I will bring all the curiosity, great questions, tools that occur to me to use in the session. And I will bring the belief that you will achieve your result on the timeline that works for you instead of graspy, urgent energy that can sometimes leak into our coaching sessions when we've got to get the client that result as fast as possible. Because what we think it means is that we're doing a good job as a coach.
yeah, I can tell you I'm guilty of this too,
Me
because
too.
I wanted to make sure that people did, again, all of this stuff to get their business built.
Yeah.
And I would do things for them instead of if I
Mm-hmm.
would see them struggling at writing emails or Canva graphics or whatever tech needed to be set up, I would just say, oh, just let me do it for you. And then I realized one day, oh my goodness, they are paying me and they are leaving me
Mm.
not equipped to do it themselves because
Yes.
I did it for them. So I really am now. We provide the support, we answer the questions, but I'm like, look, this is your business. I'll be your
Mm-hmm.
guide, but you have to do this. I think
Mm-hmm.
there is, you do desperately want success for them, but you can't make people succeed.
Yes, you can. And also coaching them on why they don't want to succeed, probing into that can actually be really effective. And we'll miss that if we're so tied to getting the success. We'll miss the coaching opportunity that's like, okay, we've met 4 times now, and you hired me to help you with this. And we keep spending all of our time over here in this other topic and category, not working on the thing that you brought to coaching in the first place. What do you think about that? Is this acceptable to you? Is this where you want to be? Why are we here instead of there? And so we can miss those rich coaching moments that often are very revealing to the client if we hold their goal too tightly.
Oh, Katie, you asked such good questions. I mean, that is gold, like to help the person see themselves. We're
Yes.
not working on week after week what you said you wanted to work on.
Mm-hmm.
And that
Mm-hmm.
comes up for me a lot too, where people will hire me and they'll say, I'm going to get my business built. And then it's like, okay, what's
Right.
going on here, guys?
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
something else has come up, but you're right to help them discover for themselves what is coming up.
Yeah, what feels more important than building your business right now? Because obviously something else is getting your attention. It's no problem. Let's just at least tell the truth about it. I'd rather work on fill in the blank than build my business. Or I'd rather do easier things than hard things. Really good to know. I mean, there's unlimited coaching potential when we're willing to look at why a client maybe isn't achieving what they said they wanted to do.
So, all of the coaching containers there are out there and certifications
Mm-hmm.
and not certifications, like we know it's
Yeah, yeah,
anything. And then there's AI. I'm just
right.
curious how you feel about how coaches can use AI and maybe what is happening. I think there's a real opportunity. I'll just give my 2 cents first. I think there's a real opportunity for us as coaches to really make sure that we are saying, here's what I actually bring to this thing. It is
Mm-hmm.
that like the reflective question that you just asked, but also I think that there is some value in the summaries, the notes, that tell me what you're thinking about how AI fits into where we're at in the coaching world.
Yeah, so I mean, personally, I don't believe that it can replace the one-on-one human connected emotive experience that we can have. I want to continue delivering coaching human to human as long as I possibly can. And I love AI to take notes during the session on my behalf because I don't even write anything down. And I
Yeah.
haven't for a really long time because I know AI is capturing it on my behalf. I'm more present. I am not looking down to find a note. I am just there. I'm watching body language. I'm watching when a client moves away, leans in. I'm just able to listen much more intently. So, to summarize a session or to maybe help me grab a moment that will turn into next week's newsletter because it will inspire future content. It's so profoundly helpful.
Yeah, it's interesting. It certainly is shaking up the world in a lot of ways, but it is a great tool for coaches. And I 100% agree with you. I think we're craving connection.
We are, and we are craving to be seen, heard, and understood more so
Heard.
than ever. And
Yeah.
sometimes as coaches, we hear things that have never been uttered out loud before. And that is the honor of a lifetime to hold space for someone admitting something, sharing something, whether it is a dream or a passion project or a deep desire or a frustration. I mean, that is so precious. And we don't do that enough for one another out in the real world. And so to think that we can do that in a coaching session and help someone get closer to that thing they want is incredible.
So, what do you think about imposter syndrome? That's a
Mm.
common theme, right? I mean, we
Mhm.
hear that, you
Mhm.
hear it, I hear it. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, of course, it feels real to us. We see evidence of it everywhere. We do a lot of comparing ourselves to coaches that are further down the road and have bigger businesses and probably ask better questions and have more sophisticated tools. So we create a lot of areas where we can compare ourselves. It comes up a lot. But when you really boil down what we are trying to do, if we keep it as simple as seeing, hearing, and understanding our client, creating a safe container within which they can hear themselves think out loud and get some clarity, then we keep our job really simple. And I think when we keep it simple, it's not to minimize the training or the years or the expertise. But when we keep it simple, I think it helps us jump out of imposter syndrome when we find ourselves there because it's like, oh, I'm listening and I'm asking amazing questions and I'm not trying to solve or fix anything
Yeah,
here.
that right there is it. I think we have the idea that we have to fix the thing. And so
Yep.
if they bring something to a session that I'm not experienced at, I won't be able to help it. And in reality, what you're saying is it's not your job to fix it anyway. It's your job
Mhm.
to help them.
Yes.
So we get that backwards sometimes.
Yes. I will never forget early on in my career, a coach you and I both know very well hired me to help her with weight loss. And I am not a weight loss coach. And she actually said, I want to hire you because you know nothing about weight loss coaching. And the ability to be as curious as I could be because I didn't have 17 tools in my back pocket that I couldn't wait to throw at her. And, and the way we get caught up in thinking I've got to give her all of the stuff. All I had was great questions, curiosity, and this fascination to figure out what is going on with you so you can decide what you want to do about your overeating. And it was some of the most life-changing coaching for her because I didn't complicate it with all these things. Isn't that interesting?
That is, I mean, that's gold. I can see exactly what you're saying, that you would be asking questions that, quote, an experienced coach would not ask. And so you asked questions probably nobody had asked her.
And so that was early enough in my career that I knew, okay, I can actually coach on anything. And this idea that we need to be an expert on these topics is false. I want to be an expert on my client and who I'm serving, but being an expert on all of these topics because I need to get to a solution, that's when we set ourselves up for imposter syndrome and comparing and feeling badly about ourselves and where we are.
So evaluate a coaching session.
Well, evaluate in terms of like our own energy, our own listening skills. Did I follow the expectations I set with the client in advance? Did I show up on time? How was my sound? How was my lighting? Little details like that are fun to evaluate on occasion. And then regularly, I love just asking myself the three simple questions. It's like, what would I keep doing? What would I stop doing? And what would I start doing? And why? Why might I keep coaching the same way that I have been? Because it gets results or because it feels authentic to me. What might I stop? Oh, I'm going to stop the thing that I do where I'm always looking up here because it's very distracting when I watch myself on Zoom,
Oh,
right? Like that might be like a little critique, a little piece of feedback, which I want to work on to create more presence and really be more grounded in the session. So what do I want to stop doing, start doing, and keep doing? If you only ask yourself those three questions, you'll reveal a lot.
if you watch yourself back on Zoom for many sessions, it really is unbelievable. And I remember my thinking position is like this with my
Yeah.
face turned away. Somebody's talking and sharing their heart. And I'm like, And it was like, I really didn't notice that until the first time I watched myself. And I was like, oh my goodness, I literally am like looking down the street thinking, and they're thinking like, why is she looking away? Or they could be thinking, why is she not looking at me? People want to take the shortcut though, Katie. They don't want to watch themselves. People are like, oh, I don't need to watch it back because I already heard, I was in the session, like I did it. I know what I said. But wow, I'm telling you, you learn a lot from doing.
Yes, and I had to watch so many sessions back when I was at the school. And so I got really good at picking up on like what creates the kind of coaching environment that a client feels really safe in and conveys professionalism and attentive listening. I mean, little things like I have a door back there, and if my door isn't closed all the way, I had a conversation with a client once where they were like constantly looking at that corner of my screen, and I think they thought someone might walk into my room. I knew I was home all alone. They, of course, wouldn't know that. So that open door, even that much, was a bit of a distraction for them. Like, is someone hearing us? I'm sharing all these things with you. Is someone going to pop in? So those little details, when we are willing to review our sessions, we can maybe shore up just a few little things that make all the difference and up level like safety, comfort, attentiveness, presence. So those are easy wins, but I think we don't love watching our sessions back because we think we're going to be really critical, or maybe we've been really critical in the past. So if that's you and you don't want to watch them back, start by saying, I'm only watching the session to collect 10 pieces of evidence that I am an amazing coach.
Yeah, that's
I
good.
showed up on time. I smiled a lot. I asked 8 great open-ended questions. I like gather the evidence of everything you're doing well and make that your first practice. And then you can go in and refine and update your coaching session even more.
Oh my goodness. I'm thinking of one thing that I noticed during my sessions when I was at the life coach school is that I don't like silence.
Oh my goodness, yes.
I was so uncomfortable with the silence. The
Mm.
person wasn't uncomfortable. They were also processing, and I just needed to put the, lock my lips and be quiet.
Yes, and I am a processor, and so I love solitude and quiet in order to find out what is happening inside. And so creating silence in sessions wasn't hard for me, but having trained so many coaches, I know how hard that can be for others to like work on that skill.
So, how does somebody look at what's happening
Mm.
in their coaching and really use that to grow themselves as a coach. And I know I've talked about this a lot on this, podcast. There just isn't practicing, and there isn't, even when you're practicing with a peer, the problem is you're practicing with somebody who is the same as you, and you don't even know how to give each other good feedback. How does somebody improve their coaching skills? I mean,
Yeah. So great question. I think it starts with an honest desire to want to improve. I think there's plenty of coaches that are very content to stay just where they are. It's working, totally fine. So is there a willingness to improve? That would be an important thing to find out within yourself. Is that something that you care about? Is growing as a coach important to you? Or are you just in business building mode right now, and that's the most important thing, and you'll come to growth as a coach a little bit later? It's all fine. Just a willingness is the place to start. And then what do you want to get traction in that's going well? I always want coaches to start here. Really double down on what you love about your coaching. And then are you communicating that to your clients? I am great at fill in the blank. My superpower is this is what you're going to love when you coach with me, because the more you know what you do well and want to keep it, you can communicate to your clients, and then you have met expectations again. Then one or two things you want to work on to improve, just a couple, not a big laundry list, just one or two things. And then most importantly, how are you going to make changes in those areas? And how are you going to mark the progress and improvements you've made?
that's very interesting.
So little things. So for the person that you're a beautiful example of not being comfortable with silence. So let's say you're a coach that you notice you talk 60% of the session. And so set a little goal for yourself. By a month from now, I want to talk 50% of the session. It's a tweak in the direction where you want to hear from your client more than you hear yourself talk. Of course, some clients love when we do all the talking, but generally speaking. So then a month later, you reflect back, you watch another session to see, are you making progress? Are you holding longer pauses? Maybe you have a little sticky on your desktop that says, take 3 breaths, pause. Can you find little ways to remind yourself what you're working on, and then go back and measure how much progress you're making?
Oh, that's so good. I actually had a client yesterday, a new client. She's a relatively new coach, but she told me, she said, I want you to know what I'm really good at so you can understand me. And she literally did what you said, Katie. She was telling me what she was best at with coaching, which I thought was brilliant. First of all, that she really knew it. And as her business coach, she was communicating it to me because she said, I know you're going to help me with my marketing and with everything else. And I want you to know what I'm good at. I thought that
Yes.
was really brilliant.
It's so good because it will help us feel more confident, reduce imposter syndrome,
Yeah.
build up our self-trust, wind down our self-doubt. Like the more we know, hey, this is what I'm known for. I lead with that all the time. I ask amazing questions. I hold incredible space. I put lots of pauses in my coaching. We're going to laugh a lot when we work together because these brains of ours, they are hilarious. Like I just lay it all out. And then sometimes when I'm in a consult, this is what I don't do. So if you want someone that's going to tell you what to do, solve every problem for you, I'm not your person. But if you want to have conversations like this, like I just laid out, this is what I do all day long really well.
Oh, wow. That is so, so
Mm-hmm.
good. Okay, well, tell me, you have something that you're going to gift everybody with that is to help them better evaluate their sessions. Can you talk about that a little bit and tell everybody how they can get it?
Oh, sure. So it's a coaching session guide, and it's really taking before the session, during the session, and after the session as 3 components of our work, and some ways that you can set the session up for success by setting expectations for yourself and your client, readying yourself, doing some self-coaching before you come into the session, or lighting a candle or movement, or I just have a bunch of ideas in there of like the way you can bring the best of you to the session. Then some like what happens in the session. Many of us know, but I think I've got 6 steps in here about what are we trying to do in the first place. And I've got some prompts in there for coaches that may get stuck in different places. And then what happens after? How do you care for yourself as a coach? How do you make the session okay? Even if you felt nervous at times, even if you wished it went a little differently. How do you deliver on your promise? And then how do you evaluate? So it's a robust guide.
So what else do I need to know about overcoming maybe the doubt that you, not you, I, all of us experience as coaches that you haven't already discussed with us, Katie?
Well, the getting the reps is important. So even in the beginning, still, if you're still coaching free clients, it's not a problem, but you could apply everything we've talked about today to your free clients, because watching yourself in action, watching yourself follow through on your decisions that you're making around coach care, around setting expectations, around what am I going to keep doing, stop doing, and start doing. If your opportunity is to practice with free clients, it's no problem. Do whatever you need to do. The more reps, the more you coach, the more intuitive this will become, the more natural it will become, and it will require less thought, which will make you trust yourself more. So that would be my main piece of advice.
You mentioned to me when we talked earlier about helping coaches that have been coaching for maybe a long time, like assessing a session or listening through a session. And I'll call you like the expert because you have helped certify thousands of coaches. What does that look like? Because I can see for myself that like your coaching could get sloppy. You know, you get, I don't know, that's not maybe a fair word to say that, but like maybe you get a little bit into your own rhythm and you almost forget what was the most effective path. So how do you help people with that?
So just so I'm understanding, so if people maybe get a little bit stuck in a rut with their own coaching,
Yeah, or just to even know like, hey, I'd love for you to listen to a session, Katie, and just give me some feedback. This is part of the private work that you do with people. Like,
yeah.
tell me, did I talk too much? Or did you hear something where I maybe didn't catch what the client said? How do you work with people for that?
Yeah, so I will often offer to give feedback on sessions and just also workshop it with my clients so that we can talk about like the whole context of what the energy they brought into the session. Oftentimes, we can make assumptions about our clients ahead of time when we don't know that we bring that energy in, or we forget that we can follow up and deliver something to them after the session. Because we have days that we're not our best, that can happen. And so there are ways to recover from that and recalibrate with clients as well. But I often think that it's, watching other coaches can be really helpful. If you're in any kind of communities where you can watch coaching and maybe take some notes on some things that really stood out. Everyone should have a coach that is a coach.
Yeah.
I believe this so firmly that when you get coached, you grow and up level to such, it can't help but impact the way you coach other people. And so that is one of the best shortcuts to getting there and up leveling your coaching when you get a little stalled out or a little stuck or you don't know what to do in different situations. How did your coach help you get through it?
I have to tell you, Katie, that is a big point right there because I actually have people come work with me or want to work with me. And somewhere down the road, I find out that they've actually never paid a coach. Like they
Yeah,
paid me for business help, but they
right.
haven't actually been coached by anyone before. And again, I think that's the difference, probably just in some of the, and no criticism. I'm not criticizing anyone and where they've come. I think it's just a difference of some certifications are going to value that. like you should get some experience yourself being coached. Some aren't even going to mention it. It's going to be not part of their curriculum. So, you don't know what you don't know, but definitely you're right. Being coached by somebody else yourself, being on the receiving end of knowing what it's like to have the personal growth from coaching, to be the person who's getting coached. Wow, that is so, so good.
Well, and I can understand it too. Many people who learn these skills and learn how to coach another person, we can tell ourselves, I intellectually understand the job I'm doing. I get what the job is, and I know how to teach that to other people. And there are lots of professions where that makes sense. But to receive coaching and have our own limiting beliefs excavated, to change our minds about things, to set big goals, to really like rumble with our emotions, to like go through that personal transformation, it takes the knowledge of the skills to the next level.
Mhm.
And then I'm sure you find this as well, because I know you work with a coach, you pull things out that you don't even know where they came from. It didn't come from a certification and it didn't come from a book you read on coaching. It came from the, oh, I know exactly what it feels like to stand between the two things that I want. I know exactly what that feels like. So I'm going to tap into that. And that's going to guide how I'm asking questions of this client who's in a similar situation. So,
I just want to pause for a moment before we wrap up. And just for you listening, I want to give you so much love and just tell you that you're
mm,
amazing and that you're just, it just makes me want to cry because I love coaching
mm,
so much. And I don't want you to have listened to this episode and had don't own anything that we said as like, maybe I'm not that good, or maybe I should have been evaluating myself, or you heard me say I talk too much, and I'm not silent. Please just know that you're perfect the way that you are. And my goal in bringing Katie on was to just help you see that you can be even better than you were. So please,
mm.
I love you. I adore you. Thank you for being in a coach so much. Just use this as an opportunity to get Katie's guide and explore what self evaluation could do for you, your business, and for your clients.
It's such an important message to share. We all have to start somewhere.
Yes.
And the passion to help people is the most important part. And all of us want to do a good job, and all of us are doing the best that we can
Yeah.
and taking this work up as we are meant to. And there are small things that we can do to get even incrementally better. But oh, the mission is amazing.
Yeah. Well, thank you so very much for being here. I really want to encourage you, if you're a woman over 50, I have a sweet spot for you because I know that you don't have just one bit of information you can help a client with. You have like 5 decades or more worth of life experience,
Mm,
and all that you have learned, plus what you studied, what you're potentially certified in. So I think you are in a beautiful spot to have an incredible impact on the world. And I know that so many women at this point are like, I want to do this. So I want to
mm.
encourage you to take that next step. Katie, thank you again for being here. We will leave the freebie here. Can you share the link one more time?
Sure, it's katiepulsifercoaching.com/coaching session guide.
Okay, great. I'll link it right here below this episode and, of course, in the show notes. Thank you again. I just really appreciate you and what you're doing. If you are a coach who is thinking, like, maybe I do need to know how to evaluate my sessions, or maybe I do need somebody to just look at the way that I'm coaching, I would encourage you to connect with Katie and just see
Mm,
how she can support you in having more confidence. Because
mhm,
that's an important piece, to be able to help
mm,
everybody and to be able to do the work you want to do.
Yeah, it would be my pleasure. I want more of us out there helping make the world a better place.
Yeah.
So, helping coaches feel great about their coaching is such a passion of mine.
Okay.
Thank
Have
you.
a beautiful day, Katie. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll talk to y'all soon. I appreciate you.
Thank you.